Sainsbury's over the past few decades has been known as one of the UK's biggest supermarkets. By this, I mean if measured in almost any performance metric, they have been consistently in the top 4, and in some cases such as revenue, they have been placed in the top 2 supermarkets. But what you may not know about them is that this is one of the biggest comeback stories over the past few years. Despite maintaining that relatively high market share, they have had some notable downturns in the past, and that is what I want to talk about in this video. The decline of Sainsbury's was mainly associated to be in 1995 when Tesco took over Sainsbury's place as the market leader by market share for the first time. However, there have been many issues with management within the company since the early 90s, and as shown in the graph, this has greatly impacted profits, which has led to aggressive measures to take place when may have not been necessary. This can be reflected in their stock price suddenly dropping in 2015, where articles were published about Sainsbury's marketing not connecting with its consumers, causing less sales than anticipated. Management changes were also afoot, including the replacement of the marketing director. Under the new leadership, Sainsbury's continued to struggle and faced a new threat from Asda following its 1998 acquisition by US retailing giant Walmart stores. While Tesco had largely replaced Sainsbury's as the UK supermarket chain known for quality and had thereby become the first choice for most middle and upper class shoppers, Asda began emphasizing the everyday low price scheme of its new parent, quickly becoming the price leader and gaining both working class and middle class customers in the process. Sainsbury's seemed to be lost between these two rivals and their respective niches. One response to the Asda insurgency was that Sainsbury's began adding non-food items to its supermarket shelves, something its competitors had done several years previous. Needing funds to begin a store remodeling campaign, Sainsbury's cut 2,000 jobs from its workforce in 1999. The main growth phase. Sainsbury's commenced operations in 1869 when 2 young employees of neighbouring London shops met, married and started a small dairy store in their 3-storey Drury Lane home. Mary Ann Staples, 19 at the time, had grown up in her father's dairy business, while John James Sainsbury, 25 at the time, had worked for a hardware merchant and grocer. The combination of both individuals' knowledge allowed for the creation of Sainsbury's. The initial stores were mainly popular and known for their cleanliness, which was still a rarity in food shops of that time, and elaborate decor helped attract more prosperous customers. It was an instant success. Several similar shops were added during that decade, while Sainsbury's also developed a less elaborate design for suburban branches opened during those years. In these suburban areas, business could be done through open windows, as in the common market areas, but the design also attracted customers to come into the store to see a greater variety of food. By the beginning of the 20th century, the founders' 6 sons, John Benjamin, George and Arthur, were working in the family business. They and other company employees were trained with equal care and attention to detail. Alfred and Paul went through the same training when they joined the company in 1906 and 1921 respectively. Frank, the 6th son, took up poultry and pork farming in 1902 and became a major supplier. Sainsbury's at the time was mainly run by the family as a family business. Products sold. Sainsbury's largest of stores stock more than 23,000 products, 40% of which carry the Sainsbury's brand. The company operates through 3 segments. Retailing, which is their core business, offers various food and non-food products. Financial services and property investments, which offers standard consumer-oriented banking options under the brand Sainsbury's Bank. One of the key growth causes could be attributed to John Benjamin, George, Arthur, Alfred, Paul and Frank, who I'll call the Sainsbury's brothers from here on. Where long before the last of the wartime restrictions were lifted in 1954, the Sainsbury's brothers had begun an aggressive recovery program. Basic operations were re-centralized to regain the economies of scale that kept prices down while retaining a substantial profit margin. Allen, John Benjamin's son, studied America's burgeoning supermarkets and opened the first self-service Sainsbury's in June 1950 in Croydon, where his grandfather had opened his Turning Point store nearly 70 years earlier. In the 1950s, expansion often meant for Sainsbury's converting existing stores to supermarkets in addition to adding new outlets. By 1969, Sainsbury supermarket had an average of 10,000 square feet of space. Nonetheless, another reason for Sainsbury's growth was that the company was at the forefront of new technology. In 1961, for example, Sainsbury's began Britain's first food retailer to computerize its distribution system. In the late 1980s, electronic cash registers at the checkout counter were replaced by scanners. Multi-buy, a special feature of the scanning system, automatically applied a discount to multiple purchases of certain designated items. Electric funds transferred at the point of sale, EFT POS, allowed customers to use debit cards to make purchases. Sainsbury's also developed a powerful private label program. By the mid-1990s, its own label products generated 66% of total sales. A notable mention of the company's proprietary product in particular made headlines in the early 1990s. Novon, a laundry detergent introduced in 1992, marked Sainsbury's move into head-to-head competition with national brands. Within just 6 weeks of Novon's launch, the company's share of the detergents market doubled to 20%. Rapid changes to leadership. Another management shakeup occurred, and in March 2000, Peter Davis took over as chief executive from the retiring Adriano. Davis had most recently been chief executive of Prudential plc, the largest life insurance firm in England, and had served as marketing director at Sainsbury's from 1976 to 1986. In 2020, it was announced that Sainsbury's CEO Mike Coop would move to another company. Near the beginning of 2020, the new CEO Roberts changed senior leadership. Near the end of 2020, another leadership change occurred. In the beginning of 2022, another top leadership change occurred with a new transformation officer role created. This is only a few of the management changes that have occurred in a short period of time at Sainsbury's, which does not give the organization's employees enough time to adjust and get used to the new management before a new management is reintroduced. The rapid changes are not just with management but with slogans, where in a period of Sainsbury's existence they have changed their slogan 15 times, whereas Tesco has only had one slogan in its entire lifetime. The worldwide situation at the time caused Sainsbury's and other grocery retailers to be forced to invest large sums of money in order to maintain health and safety for its customers and employees. The rule of social distancing meant that the number of shoppers allowed in-store were also reduced, in turn reducing Sainsbury's potential revenue from its in-store purchases. The effects of the situation also caused standalone Argos stores to be closed, cafes, meat and pizza counters to be closed, limiting of product purchasing, and changes to 1,500 small suppliers' payment terms, all in combination reducing further profits for Sainsbury's. These are some of the key reasons for the negative profit through 2021. Scandals. A major scandal for Sainsbury's was in 2021, where reports came that vegan lasagna sold by the supermarket contained pork, beef and milk, all of which should not have been contained in the vegan product, and as a result were recalled. Vegans on social media have mentioned their distrust in Sainsbury's products as a result of this scandal. In addition to this, a BBC investigation carried out into multiple supermarkets, including Sainsbury's, showed that there were proof of poor working conditions for staff supplying its UK high streets. These claims have not helped to improve the marketing situation over at Sainsbury's. A tax avoidance measure showing Sainsbury's previous chief executive is a member of a controversial tax avoidance scheme that uses legal loopholes in a way that can reduce tax bills. Supermarkets, Sainsbury's and Asda are among companies that have agreed to pay the Treasury near record fines of more than £116 million after admitting that they fixed the price of milk, cheese and butter in a scandal estimated to have cost consumers about £270 million, and there are many more not mentioned in this section. Fierce competition within the retail industry caused the UK's big four supermarkets, which include Sainsburys, Tesco, Asda and Morrisons, whom engaged in a prolonged pricing war as they lose market share to smaller discounters Aldi and Lidl. Chief Executive Mike Coop said, "We continue to adapt our business to changing shopping habits and made good progress in a challenging market." The past CEO also said in a statement that the market remains very competitive and the impact of cost price pressures remain uncertain, end quote, recognizing the threat that discounters pose to the entire profitability of Sainsbury's business if measures are not taken promptly. Many business analysts estimated correctly that the battle for the lowest price could not continue and eventually started to rise, but competition from discounters still continued in offering unique weekly varying product selection and still cheaper product. This has brought customers repeatedly back to Aldi and Lidl over the big four, causing especially Sainsbury's product prices to vary, trying to price match the discounters on a regular basis, leading to large amounts of fluctuations in price, making the company's pricing too dependent on its competitors' pricing. Slow to adapt. Within the big four, Tesco is the first to trial the concept of giving customers the opportunity to shop and pay without scanning a product or using a checkout. This is called Get Go. To shop at Tesco Express Get Go, you won't need your wallet, nor will you need to queue, use a checkout, or even pick up a basket. The store's camera and weight sensor technology will track what you put in your bag, and you'll be charged through an app after you leave. This is a similar idea as Amazon Go. Other supermarkets such as Waitrose have implemented modern technology where shoppers are able to learn more about the quality of its drink selection on desk-mounted tablets and iPad kiosks. Co-op in Italy has implemented a supermarket of the future where it is using cutting-edge cloud and mobile technology to provide a more futuristic shopping experience. The supermarket uses informative screens that can provide shoppers with answers to customer queries while they are browsing. The tech is also able to locate stock beneath the shop floor, and through collecting data from various different sensors, they are able to optimize the replenishment of shelves and as well as produce new assortments, improving store productivity. And at Morrisons, in a bid to drive efficiency and improve its customer service, the supermarket has deployed a system that uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to predict what stock is needed when and where at Morrisons' 491 stores. There have been many more examples of technology and new adaptations from each of the supermarkets. These adaptations have made consumers' experiences in store more efficient and quicker, and in a lot of cases significantly reduce the costs of the supermarket operation. Sainsbury's has managed to rise again by connecting with its consumers through its increased online grocery business. They have offered unique solutions such as the delivery pass, where you can pay an upfront fee and get free delivery on your orders. They have succeeded in their acquisition of Argos for £1.4 billion in the aim to further increase their digital presence and diversification. Sainsbury's have invested in technology such as Smart Shop, where you can scan your own products as you shop and pay at a self-service machine for in-store consumers, catching up to their biggest competitor Tesco. Sainsbury's have also in 2020 managed to outpace Aldi in terms of sales for the first time in almost a decade. And even though they have not regained their title of UK's biggest supermarket, they have managed to maintain their second place title to this day, keeping ahead of Asda, the UK's third largest supermarket. Overall, Sainsbury's has been improving in their growth strategies, but I want to ask you, the viewer, what your thoughts and opinions of Sainsbury's are. Are they the place you choose to shop at, or is there another store you prefer? Please let me know in the comments below. I'm fascinated and curious as to what you might say. If you like the video, please give a thumbs up, share this video with your friends and family, and please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. And as always, I'll see you in the comments below. Thank you for watching.